Hmm. Here in the beloved Potato Hills, one of the most ancient places that they found here on this abundant earth. I give myself to you because I want you. I need you. And even though I can live without you, I love you. Well, I dedicate my life to the people who need the light. Help them rise above the scam and the land and their lives. Send them cutting like a knife. All the lies by the slice. And depending on this, democracy is really what the request is reasonable. The tribe undefeatable. Ambitiously moving towards solutions that are feasible. It's unbelievable. All the slow moving people and they could care less. Just as long as they're comfortable, it's unforgettable. Because the conditions now are critical. Whether or not you're ready, and now approaching the pinnacle, it's difficult to say exactly what to do. But the change begins with me, and I'll reflect it back to you, you, and you, and you. Come on, man. Let the movement move. Woo! Yeah! Let the movement move. Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. All starts to be sensical. Yeah. Ha! It all starts to make sense. With all these omens and the moon phase we're in. It all starts to make sense. Well, I dedicate my life to the people who bring the light. The wind walkers, the water walkers, the sky walkers. Thank you, wind. We win again. What's the prize? Joy. Abundant joy. What is joy? What is it to be happy? Well, they tell me that it's a chemical in the brain. There's several happy chemicals. Yeah. Okay. I thought that person over there saying that really lovely thing evoked happiness in me. Alright. Perhaps. They tell me that there's 4 major happy chemicals. And they're major. I mean, we got a storm coming in. Lightning storm in the mind. They categorize them as serotonin. Really nice one. Yeah, really nice. Dopamine, which is probably my go-to. Oxytocin. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And endorphins, which it's kind of the painkiller, the physical painkiller. And our hypothalamus, the most sophisticated pharmacy in the world, located in our mind, in our brains. It has the recipe for every feeling you've ever felt, every emotion, all the good and all the, you know. It has the recipe. And it also has the ingredients, fully stocked, especially in a healthy mind. And it can put those ingredients together whenever. And oftentimes, it only does it whenever it's told to. By whatever. By what we're observing of the outside world. We see something, we hear something, we're told about something, we taste something, we feel something, we smell something. And however it is, our brains interpret those variables. Our hypothalamus says, okay, well, we got the recipe for that one. That smells really gross. Ugh. That goddess is gorgeous. Oh. I just discovered something really phenomenal. Woo! That's my dopamine. Yeah. And there's a lot of other happy chemicals. If you can imagine those four as, four trunks of a tree, and they branch off into large branches and smaller branches and twigs. There's many different kinds of highs and lows, as I'm sure you know. A couple of years ago, almost 3 years ago now, I started asking myself, how do I be happy? What is it that makes me happy? Well, I really like music, good music, that sends the thrill bumps up and down my arms and all around my neck and ears and whatnot. That phenomenal feeling that tingles the tips of your toes and fingers. Yeah, live music. When you're really feeling the band and the crowd is feeling the band and you can feel it's tangible. You can taste it. It's indescribable. If you haven't experienced it, please go, listen, enjoy. It's a gift. Yeah. So there's that. That makes me happy. I like music. I like really good music. Most music has talent. I prefer some to others. Honestly, I prefer happy music. Music that promotes happiness in my brain, in my belly, in my hips. Yeah. Then there's nature. Being out in this indescribable beauty. And I've been fortunate enough to discover, or for myself, discover many paradises in this world. Tropical paradises, alpine paradises, deciduous forests like this one. And I've been able to see them in many different seasons. They're in constant flux, like our own brain. Paving new pathways, dropping leaves and branches, growing new ones. Welcoming new thoughts and birds that flutter in. So I thought, well, maybe I can access happy through memories, through my own fond memories. And I had a lot of free time. I had just gone through the worst depression of my life, darker than high school. And it lasted 2.5, almost 3 years. And I've read since, I didn't understand it at the time, but I have read since that one of the first emotions out of depression is anger. And no doubt, I had an abundance of anger. I was mad at everything. Everywhere I looked. I was like, why are they doing that? What could possibly make them think that that's a good decision? Well, I mean, they're on their own path, as are you, Cielo. Cielo is sky in Spanish, but it also means heaven. It means the heavens. It's also a term of endearment, like you would call your lover, Cielito lindo, beautiful little sky. You could call a dear friend Cielo as well, but oftentimes it's for a lover. So, that summer of 2012, I was pissed off. I wasn't sleeping very much. I was indulging in things that weren't healthy. And I burned a lot of bridges. I burned bridges that had taken years to build, that had taken months to build, that had taken weeks to build, with friends, with family. Pretty much everyone that saw me lighten their bridge that we had grown together. And I found myself in another paradise on the short cliffs of the White Salmon River, just as it turned into the White Salmon from Trout Creek, up in the beautiful state of Washington. And I found myself with an elderly couple in a log cabin that her grandfather had built back in 1933. Right on the banks, right on the cliff of this gorgeous, pristine glacier melt river. And I found myself with a lot of time. And that couple, they saw the hurt in me. And they didn't allow me to burn our bridge. And at that point, I didn't want to burn anything else. And they just gave me love. They accepted me for where I was and who I was. And they just loved me. They fed me their love and their kindness and their joy and their wisdom. I owe my existence to them. One of them has transitioned, and Jackie, she's still
as abundantly joyous as anyone I've ever met. So much energy. And I decided in that paradise, with so much free time on my hands, and yes, I was helping them out with projects around the place, but they didn't ask for much. They asked for me to keep putting one foot in front of the other, continue to heal. And so I did. And I discovered through a series of Google searches the teachings of Esther Hicks and Jerry Hicks, and that which they call Abraham. And a lot of what they had to say was pretty out there. But the thing that kept resonating with me was just figure out how to be happy.